Alright guys, I thought I'd show you how to take apart the headlight because I'm not sold on this and it ended up touching the lens. I tried everything I could to fix that. There's just nothing I can do, and I want to fix up the lens. So the other one was worse, and I can't have one looking different than the other. So for this side, it is there's 4 screws on the back, one here, 2 up top, and then one here I already took out. And then all you got to do is put it in the oven after that. Make sure all the bulbs are out, because that's important. And then it's just warming up, 250 for 12 minutes. If you need more time, then do more time, but that's usually enough. And then I will update you when it's separated. I do have this tool to open it from Morimoto, I believe, but you can just use a thin flathead screwdriver. And then you will also need some vice grips, or these are extremely handy, and they got the little rubber pads. So at least 2, but 4 is best, or more. So. All right, got the headlight open. You can see you just split it apart with the flathead or that tool I suggested earlier. And it's really easy. The face plate is this, and it's only 2 screws. So right here and right here. And then the whole face plate comes out. And then you're good to, if you wanted just to paint it black, or if you did want to put halos in, I'll show you once it's out. It helps if you pull from this corner, so nearest where the fender would be first, and then you can pull it directly out, and then you're good. You can paint this black, but I'll flip it around and show you better. This larger halo will touch the lens unless you were to like shave the whole faceplate. And the problem is the paint doesn't stick to like the silicone, so it was coming off. So I'm just going for a full white halo. It's fine if it touches the lens, but just not a painted one. So that's kind of the justification. So I'm just going back to 2 full white halos. After you paint, just please let it dry at least the recommended time on the back, or at least 24 hours. You can see it came out really smooth. And then a tip, even if you don't have dogs, but if you do, pick up some compressed air. And trust me on this, do the lens, spray out the lens of hair, and really make sure this faceplate is clear of dust and hair before you put it back in the lens and then seal it up. Because once it's sealed up, you're probably not going to want to take it apart again. And you definitely do not want hair and dust in there. So just a big tip there. You do want to mount halos. It's a little bit more involved. At least the ones from Morimoto, they come with these little areas where you can attach thin wire. Then you would need to drill holes at the corresponding spots to run the wire through and then like twist it to attach the halo. That's kind of the best and most secure way. You can use 3M tape, but that is more likely to fail, especially if there's heat in the engine bay. And you need to do that on both. So you drill small little holes, and then if the halo won't sit flush, like this bigger one, you need to add a notch for where the wires connect to the halo. I mean, this one's more challenging. This one you could definitely get away with if you've never done it before. It's pretty easy. Sorry, my dog. He wants in, but I don't want hair on the headlight. And yeah, I say you could probably easily tackle the smaller one, and that's honestly enough. I think one looks good. The wiring for the smaller one, you will have to add a small notch in the bottom. The bottom hides it pretty well. Sometimes you want to cover these wires up with a little bit of electrical tape or heat shrink. It's up to you. I don't really care, but yeah, let's put them back together. Just check one more time really closely if there's any dust or hair that you missed, because now is the time. And then put in the screws, and I'll show you how to seal it back up. Okay, you're going to put the headlight back together the best that you can with the not warmed up silicone or butyl or how, I'm not exactly sure what this one uses, but if you think there's any low points and you think that moisture might get in, you can pick up this butyl windscreen sealant and then add it where desired, but that I suggest adding a little bit. It's not a bad idea, especially because if moisture gets in, you're gonna have to open it back up most likely to get the water out. So just firmly press it in the best you can, put it back in the oven for 12 minutes at 250. That should be sufficient, and then you're going to use vice grips and squeeze the headlight together until it's completely cooled, and you should be good to go. And then you can add all the bulbs back in, and yeah, have an awesome looking headlight. These to kind of close it the best you can before you heat it up. So you just put it on and kind of help clamp it close, applying even pressure throughout around the whole headlight, not clamping down one side completely because it may shift the lens over too much. And you want to just make sure these little tabs are in place and go. You might not be able to get them all in until they it's warmed up, but do the best you can to line it up and line up all the screw holes, because yeah, it's very important. All right, so the headlight just came out of the oven. As you can see, I used 4 clamps. This one's a little hard to clamp on this side, but I just made sure it was closed. And yeah, pretty much done. Now you can throw it back in. Just remember to add back your 4 screws on the outside. Well, it's still warm is best.